Welcome to Sales Accelerators, Winning Strategies for Financial Professionals, an educational webinar series that explores the latest tools and concepts to help boost your sales performance and drive business growth. Join us as we analyze trending topics in life insurance, investigate the latest headlines, and discuss solutions to accommodate your clients' unique needs. Please welcome your host, Kurt Fasen, Executive Vice President of Sales and Marketing.
Hello, welcome to another edition of Sales Accelerators, the webinar series where we deliver quick, practical insights that you can put to work right away. My name is Kurt Fasen, Executive Vice President here at DBS, and I'm excited to lead this conversation about the market that continues to grow in importance and opportunity, the women's market. And I'm delighted to have Laura Thompson, our very own Head of Marketing, with me here today to guide us through the discussion. Laura, thanks for joining.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. All right, so you might remember if you've joined some of our series in the past, we always suggest that you print out your webinar action plan or grab a sheet of paper. And as Laura and I are going through our discussion today, take a moment to think about clients, think about prospects, think about people that this would apply to that perhaps you can sit down and have a conversation with. So let's talk about this market, Laura. You've been a strong advocate for us focusing in the women's market, and you've been involved in many different initiatives here. Why is this such a priority for DBS? And more importantly, for those joining us today, why should a financial professional pay attention to this market?
Well, you know, the numbers tell a powerful story. We see that women are controlling more wealth than ever. They are business owners, they are primary decision makers, and most importantly, they're inheriting assets at historical levels. But even though all of this is true, we hear that they still feel underserved or overlooked by the financial professionals that they're working with. So we here at DBS feel that that's really an opportunity. When advisors can understand how women think, how they make decisions, how they want to be involved, they can then establish and build some deep, meaningful relationships. And so that's really what we want to support here, giving advisors the tools and the education to engage with women more meaningfully. So it's, again, both a responsibility and an opportunity to help advisors understand the women's perspective on financial planning.
Well said. And, we've talked about this many times, Laura. DBS has really made a commitment to helping advisors really succeed in this space. So now, I think we both have seen a movement in the industry, and maybe you could just share a little bit about what you're seeing from your perspective around this.
Well, I'm definitely seeing just a lot of interest across the industry, not just in supporting women as clients, but enhancing women as professionals in this field. So many of our carrier partners are launching programs to empower women as advisors. We see education, networking, community building, really across the board, a push to create a more supportive environment for women in wealth management. There's also been just a lot of visibility about gender diversity in recent years, just a growing recognition that it just truly pays to pay attention to this. We see, women-only events, specialized training, really just a focus more on women, bringing them into the industry and supporting those of us who are already in the industry. I think challenges still exist. We have a ways to go, but there's definitely a clear momentum in a drive to move the needle. So, and also from a client perspective, the shift is just as significant. We see research that continues to highlight the opportunity with paying attention to client needs and what can happen from an advisor's point of view if they fail to engage with those women clients. So that, I think, that awareness has been a strong driver as well, just in pushing the industry to make sure and rethink how it serves women, both as female financial professionals and in supporting our female clients.
Yeah, I would agree. I've seen, as you've stated, there's been a lot of activity around this, and it's really growing a lot of momentum in the industry. And I know that we've been doing things, you've been leading things to help focus our initiatives here at DBS. Maybe you can walk through some of the things that we're doing here to support this market at DBS.
Yeah, we've taken really a multi-layered approach. We want to provide the information and the tools for advisors to confidently engage with women clients and prospects. We have a library on our website of women-focused materials, and we've made a conscious effort to partner with carriers who are also investing in this market. So we've curated some of their best pieces as well. We've got everything from, client-facing brochures, conversation guides, life stage planning materials, case studies, just about anything that you can imagine we've made available to make it easy for advisors to better understand women, better engage with them, and then improve their practice in the end. It's just really all about starting those meaningful conversations that address the unique financial concerns that women often have.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that because, we have resources that we can make available, but we don't know which resource specifically is going to fit each particular advisor or situation. So it really gives people a long list and a good library of things they can go to. I think it's important that we dig into maybe some specifics, Laura. So you mentioned a commitment of our carriers in this space. So I'd like to highlight a few of the platforms and also mention all of this is on our website, I assume, right? So we should show that, and maybe just a few standouts throughout all of this. So why don't you walk us through some specs?
Yeah, absolutely. And yes, as you mentioned, this is all on our website. We have a page dedicated to working with women, where you'll find not only DBS produced pieces, but then also these carrier platforms that I'll mention. And obviously I won't be able to get to everything today, but this is just to give people joining us today a taste of what is available out there that we feel will be helpful in their efforts. So one of the first carriers to stand out was Prudential. They recognized early on that supporting women's financial planning needs was something that they wanted to champion. So they built a really comprehensive platform. It's a playbook that brings all of their resources together all in one place. So it's designed to help advisors become trusted allies for women throughout their financial journey. They have focused on three things in this playbook. First is research and insight. So they start by helping advisors understand women's unique financial needs, how to connect those needs to meaningful benefits, and how to guide planning conversations both now and in the future. There's even tips in this playbook about how to structure meetings with women and make that whole experience more meaningful and productive. From there, they have prospecting profiles. So they outline all of the different life stages where women typically need financial planning support. These profiles make it easier for advisors to tailor their approach based on where a client is in her journey. I think most advisors know that often decisions are made at those life stage changes that would prompt a person to examine their needs. And it's no different with women. It's just a little bit different and more specific when looking at a female perspective. And then finally, they have a great set of practical tools. There are conversation starters, pre-sale materials, point of sale resources, and even post-sale follow-ups. It's just one of the best toolkits that gives an overall comprehensive view to help advisors feel confident and prepared at every step.
I think that's great. Well, it sounds like Prudential really put a great package together. It looks like it from what we're seeing here, and from research to prospecting tools and then other tools and resources. It's fairly comprehensive. And so let's talk about some of the other carriers that you found have resources worth reviewing.
Sure. So Allianz actually has also put a great deal of effort into this market. They have their Women, Money, and Power series that they've actually had since 2006. So
Wow.
they've been studying how women think about money and investing across different life stages. So their goal has really been about helping women feel more confident, empowered, and prepared to build their financial strategy. So they actually have two pretty good standout tools. One is their Discovery Journal. It walks women through key questions that will help them reflect on their goals and prepare conversations with their financial professional. Secondly, they've developed 5 financial personas. They've got the financial dreamer, the avoider, the initiator, the collaborator, and the analyzer. So each persona reflects a different set of attitudes and behaviors around money and decision making. And so where advisors can use this is to really better understand how their client is going to approach the decisions and then ultimately guide them and the whole planning process more effectively. Lincoln actually brings some really great resources to the table also, especially when looking at long-term care. Obviously with their MoneyGuard product that they've had for many years, they have found that obviously long-term care is a major issue for women. I mean, we know the statistics, women live longer and they also tend to be the caregiver. So Lincoln has created really some great pieces that can help advisors navigate all of those types of conversations with really more sensitivity and clarity. Their Moments That Matter series, which is they highlight key decision points and life events that influence financial behavior. It's just a great way to help clients recognize all of those moments that shape their planning needs and then ultimately understand the options available to them.
So I love this. So for those of you writing things down now in your action guide and trying to keep track of things, from Allianz, I love that Women, Money, and Power series. But what I think is really interesting is those 5 personas, right? And when you think about your clients, better understand the mindset the client's in, the more successful you're going to be. So by them doing the research and taking the time to understand that those 5 personas is, I think that's a great advantage. And then when you pivot over to Lincoln, I would say, it might be my age, but the materials on long-term care, those I would say are going to really resonate with a lot of women today, and so will be very, very timely. Laura, did you find others that we should highlight in our time together today?
So yeah, a couple of other key carriers I'd highlight are Pacific Life and Principal. Pacific Life has their Secure Her Future resources, which are built around some really insightful research on how women in the U.S. are growing their economic power and increasingly becoming the primary financial decision makers. Their whole message is about helping women feel confident taking charge of their financial future and reminding, again, financial professionals need to truly engage their female clients. I think we've heard this before in our work with women, but they point out that many women will switch advisors within a year of losing a spouse. And also 35% will change financial professionals after a bad experience. So their focus really is on the advisor and what risk can happen when they overlook women's needs. And Principal actually reinforces this opportunity as well. And they have pointed out that only 27% of women feel satisfied with their current financial situation, which means, just that huge opening to start those meaningful conversations and build stronger relationships. Of course, Principal is known for their strength in the business market, so they add that as well to their research. So more and more women are leading small and mid-sized companies, and 46% of businesses are now female-owned. So if you can imagine, there's just so much more business market opportunities that have a female perspective, just as they become an even bigger driving force in that industry.
And no question about it. Yeah, I picked up on one thing that you said there. The fact that there are many times you're dealing with widows, right? The surviving spouse, and statistically, we've heard this for years. The women are going to outlive the men, so it's going to be a topic of conversation, I would think, with female clients. As you were preparing for our time today, did you come across any really good information to help advisors work with widows?
Yes, absolutely. Protective for a long time has had a Working with Widows series, and they have developed some really good materials just all about the communication process in a compassionate manner, dealing with grief, being supportive at a time when a person's whole world has changed. So they have several unique pieces that are all about helping advisors better understand and work with clients as they're experiencing that great loss. Securian actually too has some strong support in this area as well with their Own It platform. So they have a brochure navigating the journey after losing your partner, and it helps clients understand what exactly are the next steps. I'd also point out that DBS we've put together on just what all needs to be done in a very very clear outline manner, because the biggest thing we hear is that people experiencing loss need to know, what do I do next? Where do I go? What are the first things I need to do in that first month? What's maybe 3 months down the line? What's 6 months down the line? And we've laid it out very clearly to help with that. And that's on that page as well.
It strikes me in my own personal situation, when my father passed away, our planner used, or my mother's planner used, some of these actual materials, and that helped. Because you're right, you as a family, my mom, everything was just spinning, and to have your planner sit down and say, okay, these are the steps we're going to have to take in the next 30, 45, 60 days, was very reassuring. And I think that's something that all of you out there as advisors are really, you're so much more than just selling a transactional product. You are providing that safety net of comfort in helping people understand how to navigate as life changes, and that's a major life change. But let's now. I want to think about all of you listening and watching. And when I was an advisor, I'd listen to these things and I'd say, okay, what's in it for me? What's the WIFM? So let's talk about reality. How can advisors, in your opinion, Laura, actually use these materials in their day-to-day work?
Yeah, again, I wanted this to be just an overview of everything available. And we know that some advisors will use, bits and pieces here and there. But when I look at everything that's out there, I can see it being boiled down to three main areas. The first is prospecting and marketing. There's just some really great ready-to-use content out there. Anything from email campaigns to social media posts, client event materials, so the invites, the flyers, even webinar outlines. So advisors can position themselves as specialists without having to start from scratch. We work with a lot of women here at DBS that do specialize in women, whether it's widows, single by choice, divorced, and they've built some incredible client bases by focusing on women, and they don't have to go it alone. Banner is actually a great example. They've developed really complete ready-to-go kits. Again, social media content, email campaigns, marketing pieces that advisors can put to use right away. Symetra actually has stepped up with some similar turnkey materials that make it easy to reach and engage with female clients.
That's great. And what a huge time saver, because I can think back to when I was a planner, or when I visit with planners from time to time. You think about moving into a market like this, or helping a segment of your own market that you're already working in a more meaningful way, and it can be overwhelming. It really can be. So it's helpful to have as much ready to go, pre-built as possible from really very reputable organizations as you've been discussing. What else is part of all of this in your mind, Laura?
So yes, the second area where we see these resources making a big impact is with enhancing client conversations. Our goal here is to help advisors ask better questions, address women's unique concerns, and really personalize the planning strategies in a way that truly resonates. So John Hancock is a great example of this. They have a client-facing seminar called Women, Wealth, and Wisdom. It's designed to elevate conversations around all of those life events that women face and then turn them into a specialized, highly effective financial planning moment. So in their kit, they've got 9 case studies, which is each paired with checklists, worksheets, even primers about what that life stage is all about. Everything's packaged into a complete guidebook that makes it really easy for advisors to engage more meaningfully with their female clients. Again, they walk through all of those major life stages: newly widowed, newly divorced, estate planning, becoming a new parent, buying a home, you name it, they've got it. And for each scenario, they outline what matters most at that stage, and then they provide the tools that support those conversations.
Yeah, I love that. So, so we have the materials that are pre-built and kind of ready to go, and then really information on how to have that conversation and really start the dialogue. What's next, Laura?
Well, this is where I think DBS has really tried to lean in, and that has to do with professional development. It's really one of my favorite initiatives, and where we've invested in creating small, high-impact study groups for advisors who want to go deeper into serving women more effectively. So these groups meet regularly, have a chance to share best practices. We workshop real-world cases and often are able to learn from subject matter experts. It's a really unique collaborative environment where advisors can refine their approach and grow and learn with their peers who share this same commitment to women's issues. So through these study groups and training sessions, we allow advisors the opportunity to strengthen their communication skills and learn strategies that really work. And we have found that these meetings are very successful because women truly love learning and growing and want to improve their value as a financial professional.
Laura, you've been at the epicenter of this. Is when we first started these, we call them elite study groups, and I love them. And what I love about them is it's creating something different. It's something unique. It isn't come to a meeting, learn some stuff about products, have a sandwich, go home. It's more about building a community that really cares, that really wants to help one another. DBS and one of our carriers is there. We're part of the conversation, but it's really that whole ecosystem that happens throughout that community. And it's something special. If you've not experienced it and you think you want to experience it, I'll give you 2 bits of advice. One, you need to talk to your regional sales director. If you don't know who your regional sales director is, please put a message out and we'll find out why they don't talk to you. But no, talk to your regional sales director. And we have them coming up periodically throughout the year, so they can help you. Your RSD can help you. The other thing I would tell you, and this is something that I'm very delighted to be able to say, the demand for these study groups is growing substantially. So if you're interested in it, what we don't do is we don't have monster-sized study groups. These are very small, intimate groups. So if you're interested in being part of one, you probably want to raise your hand early, not late, because you want to get in on one of these. Laura, I can feel and see your passion. I'm glad you're able to share some of your insights about this today. And in my mind, I hope in the minds of those that joined the 2 of us today, it's clear that DBS is committed to both advisors and the women they serve in this market. I know that this is a growing market. I know it is an important market, and I couldn't be prouder that we're able to provide support through the resources, both the ones we create internally and the ones we make available through our partners. So before we go, I want to as always, thank everybody for joining us. And I'd encourage you to go out to this website. If you take a look right here, this is the DBS Women's Resource Center out on our website. And it is full of lots of very, very important information, some of which we reviewed with you today. And I know that our team is standing by, more than happy to walk you through any of these and all the resources on the page. Laura, any closing words for our audience today?
Well, I would just say I am really proud too of the work that DBS has done in this area. I think it shows a true commitment. It's not just a niche market. It's really a growing opportunity, and I'm just happy that we can support so many advisors in this area. Really, the way I look at it is, women deserve better representation. They have been historically underserved, and we want to help change that. We've put together all of this information and these tools and these resources to make it easy for advisors to do so. Just don't forget that this is a major growth opportunity. Women are one of the fastest growing wealth segments. And so advisors who understand this market will be better positioned for long-term success, and DBS will be behind you all every step of the way.
Absolutely. Laura, thank you. So good to have you with us today. And thank you everyone out there for joining us today for another edition of Sales Accelerators. We look forward to seeing you again real soon. Until then, be well, take care, and stay safe, everybody.